no!
Oh, no.
We've recorded.
All right.
It says actual recording is higher quality, so
Sure.
we'll see.
I like it.
And now it freezes, but, well, we'll see.
It says uploading 99%, so that's good. Oh, no. Okay, it's counting up again.
I think it uploads as it goes, or...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've been known to drink.
I've had 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages in my life.
What's the worst you've actually accidentally done drunk? Or deliberately, I guess.
Well, let me see. Worst thing. I don't know. Nothing too bad. It's because, when I'm drunk, I tend to be a little bit like, I love everybody. Everybody's great and everything's cool. Like, I'm a happy drunk, not an angry one. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I got lost once. Walked around for until the morning came along, and I met this dude, and he was talking to me. This isn't like the middle of fucking nowhere, and I don't know. He was like, "I saw you in the pub." I was like, "That's weird," because again, it was miles away from where we'd been. And my friends afterwards, when I told them, were like, "Dude, you were up that part of it?" Yeah, I was up in this street, whatever it was. And they were like, "Oh, that's called Devil's Corner because the devil comes there." Like, it's an old tradition or story that the devil appears there in the darkest of nights and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, you seem pretty nice to me." It's just some dude who was like, "I saw you in the pub. You guys are having good fun." I was like, "Yeah, it was great." And that was it. So apparently I met the devil. And yeah, so that's the weirdest thing that's happened to me when I was drunk.
Well, yeah, I mean, you started off saying that it was nothing, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I met the devil once."
I mean, I just remembered while I was talking. Yeah, I think that's the best story I can give you. The rest of them are
perhaps that story goes a long way with this story.
Uh-oh.
So, did you happen to 69 the devil?
No, on that occasion I decided to pass. I did fear that I was about to be anally probed, so I did kind of leg it and just run as fast as I could out of there. But that was a long time ago.
If you could have just 69, then it would have been fine. Well, this story, my best friend and I got super drunk last weekend, and we sucked each other off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked since, and it's really awkward, and I think I regret it.
I mean, you either do regret it or you don't, because you can't think you regret it. Yeah.
Well, he says, "I legitimately don't know what happened. We're both straight. I think it was the alcohol."
Nope. We have this saying in Ireland that whatever is inside you when you're sober will come out when you're drunk, meaning your true self is on show.
Another man's.
Yeah. So
penis.
if you want to suck on some dick, then you're only going to do it when you're drunk. So the reality is, you two guys like dick. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. You go and enjoy it together.
Spoken like a man who's met the devil.
I mean, that's the rumor. So, maybe he has a story saying he met the devil. I don't know. But yeah, I would suggest if you sucked your mate off, you probably wanted to.
Well, it says we drank 2 bottles of Cordon Bleu in his room and got so messed up I can barely remember it. But what I do remember is suddenly our pants were off and we were sucking and jerking each other off. We fell asleep afterwards, then woke up and barely said a word to each other. I thought about texting him or trying to drop by so we can talk about it, but I can't bring myself to.
So I've even bought the 2 bottles again to have a nice open conversation. Yeah, I mean, come on. Nobody gets that drunk on 2 bottles of whatever it was between 2 of you to go to a room together suddenly. Oh no, our pants fell off. Oh, better suck you off then.
We both drank 2 bottles of Heineken Zero and then things just got out of hand.
Actually, it was 2 bottles of water. We were just horny. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe there was something in the bottles of maybe some other substance being taken, or I don't know. I don't feel like that's an accurate story. I feel like the two dudes just wanted to do what they wanted to do and blame it on, oh no, we got super drunk. Because I've been really drunk in my life, and I've never...
And you've sucked off many a man, too.
I've never accidentally sucked off my best friend. So...
Accidentally. I mean, you've done it sober many a time.
He's trying to say that this is accidental. It's never a thing where I'm like, oh, you know what? Don't know how that happened. I always know how it happened when I have interacted with another being while I was, drunk or slightly tipsy, whatever it might have been. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've heard of companies that are, like, secretive about what their salaries are.
Mm-hmm.
And companies that want to hire people that are in it, who are not in it for the money.
Yeah.
Well, this company posted an ad where they took that to the extreme, and they won't disclose the salary of the job because they want people who are only going to do it for not the money.
All right. Well, we'll not be applying for that job because people are only doing the job that they have for the money. No one's doing it for the love of being fucked over by their boss all the time. So that's
it says we expect it to be a passion of every employee and every applicant.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly love what you're doing and helping people in the process, financial compensation is just a bonus.
No. Loving what you're doing doesn't pay the rent or the bills or buy food. You got to have
sex with your best friend.
I mean, listen, that's just a bonus. That is a bonus. So it's the other stuff that you need the money for. I mean, maybe you got to pay your best friend. I don't know, but you need money. So how much you earn is important. I mean, I believe people say you shouldn't ask how much the salary is, but once they make you an offer, if you're like, that's a shit offer, I want you to pay me more money, that's perfectly legitimate. And the company doesn't want to tell you how much you're going to make for a job. That's just not good.
Well, the thing is, it's never going to be like, oh, that was a pleasant surprise. It's always going to be, is that all?
It's be like, so do you want to work 80 hours a week for the sum total of $300? No, I do not. So, yeah.
You said you work not for the money.
Yeah, you said it's your passion. It's like, I said that because that's what they say you got to say at interviews. It's not my fucking passion to help stupid fucking people who can't figure out how to turn on their printer, okay? Just not my fucking deal. So, nobody's passionate about that shit. So, yeah, anyway.
You said answering calls about how the company should get burned in a fire is your passion.
Well, it's
so, you know.
I'm kind of passionate about it, but not passionate to the point where I want to do it for free. So, I want you to pay me a reasonable amount of money. If I'm going to get up in the morning and get my ass to work, you guys better fucking be well compensating me. So
that does remind me of someone who I know that didn't get a job because they were asked, what was the worst things what was your worst experiences or worst part about your old job? And they said that, when clients would get upset for no reason or like, basically just, they said like that when they had to deal with upset clients and the company gave the feedback that the reason they weren't going to be hired, even after going through 5 interviews, was because of that.
That is pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, just some life advice for folks out there. If you're asked that question, the correct answer is, I loved my job. I'm just looking to better myself and pursue my passions somewhere else.
Well, no, I mean, a reasonable person should be able to say that if someone dealing with customers who are upset and trying to make them happy, but you can't fix their problem, would be a negative of any job.
No, they're just a pack of pricks, so they're fucking dickhead customers. They're my problem, but well,
that's the real answer, but you meant to say. Like, legitimately, if anyone is actually like, I love dealing with angry customers, they are just full of shit. They're as dishonest as the guy who had 2 bottles of Heineken Zeros and accidentally sucked off his best friend who are both straight.
I work with someone at the moment who, if anyone on our team comes up with a tricky customer or tricky client, has a difficult situation, will be like, she will say, send that person over to me. I love dealing with tricky customers like that. And I thought she was full of shit. But what she does is literally take the piss out of the customer until they go, oh, okay, thanks anyway. But like, she does it in a really like, this is the way it is. This is what we were telling you to do. And like, she's really skilled at taking the piss out of people and them not realizing it. And then you like read what she's sending to them, and it's like she's really good. She just enjoys ripping the piss out of people, which is fantastic. But yeah. Some people just need the piss taken out of them as customers. But anyway, that's kind of getting off the points. But she actually loves her job. I don't think anyone loves their job unless it's sucking off people. Those people really love doing their job. There you go.
I mean, yeah, no one. As much as people are like, "Oh, I love my job," no, you don't.
You don't, because it fucking stops you doing other shit that you want to do. So, because you got to give it all the time. So,
anyone who would, if you loved your job so much, why would you ever take a holiday?
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point. And I know people who like their job, but like liking your job compared to other jobs is different. You would choose to do that job if you didn't have to make money. So there you go. Life lessons on SickCraic Podcast.
And that's why you work in a massage parlor.
3. But that's, it's
just
one of those
janitor.
So,
I work as a janitor. Don't have a broom or a mop.
Well, that's enough about that.
All right. Well, what is the best reason to cheat on your wife?
Well, there isn't a good reason.
There is.
Unless you married an ugly, horrible person just for the money. So, in that case, you're fine. But, yeah, otherwise, I don't know.
Well, no, this person has much better
I thought so.
reasoning. I've been married for 10 years with my wife, and I have to admit I've been a bit of a disappointment in our relationship. My wife is not very smart. She didn't finish secondary school and has never had a job.
Okay.
We live in a small apartment, and finding work is difficult. To make matters worse, she doesn't have any skills or qualifications that could help her to get a job. She is always at home, and I provide for our family. I never wanted to admit it, but my wife's lack of intelligence has been a major factor in why our marriage has been so difficult. We don't have much in common, and she rarely contributes to conversations. I've tried to be understanding of her situation, but it gets increasingly difficult. I've tried to make the most out of our relationship, but it has been hard. We don't share the same interests, and we don't seem to be able to connect anymore. We've grown apart, and I can't help but feel like I'm missing out on something. Mm-hmm. It's been incredibly difficult. It's been increasingly difficult for me to stay in the marriage. I've been tempted to leave and start a new life with someone else. I wanted to be honest with my wife about my decision, but I don't know she will be devastated and hurt. I feel guilty for having a second family, but I know that it is the best decision for me. I'm fully in a relationship where I can be happy and I'm able to explore my interests. My new partner is smart, ambitious, and supportive. We have similar interests and we have meaningful conversations. Mm-hmm. I know that it is wrong for me to have 2 families, but I can't help but feel relieved that I've taken this step. I'm finally happy and able to be myself. I'm sure that my wife is also glad that I am happy. She noticed that I was happier and she also got happier herself. I know that I made the wrong decision, but I can't help but feel like it's the best thing for me. I'm finally happy, and I'm in a relationship where I can be myself.
How does the new partner feel about the wife and other family? Because I'm sure she might consider that a bit of an issue also. Yeah, I feel like I still feel like that's not acceptable to just, you know what, I'm not happy in this relationship, but I don't want to break her heart, so I'm going to just start a new family with this other person. Just not tell her.
It's important to tell her, I did this for you to make you happy. Have you not noticed how you're happier lately? Well, that's because I have a new family.
Yeah, you see, you're stupid, and I don't like that about you. And I only found that out after 5 years of marriage. So, you know, there's things you don't let me do that my new partner. I have a new partner, by the way. She lets me do all those things, and not a fucking dumbass. Yeah, so
family. It's not just a partner; it's a family.
I mean, you slowly bring in the fact that there's a family element. My other son from my smart partner, he's getting good grades. Our son, not so much.
That's all.
Yeah.
Or it'd be funny if he's like, actually, it turns out that my son from the new family is also dumb as shit too, like you. So.
Oh God, it's pretty terrible either way. But it seems to me that this guy just wussed out of having the "I need to break up with you" conversation. And was like, fuck it, I'll just start a new life with this other person and split myself between the two. Nobody will ever know. It's the perfect crime. So the reality is, he's the fucking idiot, and his dumbass wife should break up with him. So there you go. But yeah, that's pretty terrible. He's a pretty terrible dude, this guy. So.
But he's making his wife happy.
I mean, I don't know if she'll be happy when she finds out, and whether she's intelligent or less intelligent, women always find out if you're cheating on them, one way or the other. You'll call her the wrong name. She'll find out that her sister has a new boyfriend or husband, and it's you. Whatever's going on, she's going to figure it out eventually. Someone's going to tell her, "Oh, hey, I saw Bob with this other girl at the swingers party. Where were you?" So yeah. Anyway, long story.
Well, why should you not ask your wife to peg you?
I mean, maybe she's not into that. Maybe she, we'll think differently about you after you ask that question. I don't know. But yeah, interesting.
Well, this article comes from the wife, and my husband of 10 years loved being pegged. He brought it up a few years ago, and I, wanting to be open-minded as well, give him space to explore whatever fantasy he had, decide to try it out. I could not stand it. It's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. After time of him complaining, I didn't use it enough on him. I told him gently that I wasn't comfortable with it. He was really mad for a while, but got over it.
Okay.
Now the problem I have is that he's so obsessed with this stuff. No matter how cleaned out he is, it smells like crap. There's usually stuff in there, and it gets on me or on the towels/bed sheets. He constantly asks me if it was hot watching his hole get stretched so wide by the toy, and I never know what to say because at the moment I'm doing it to pleasure him. I can get over it and I'm willing. But when he wants to talk about it, I feel like puking and it makes me cringe. Mm-hmm. He constantly wants to talk about it, and the only thing that I think about when he does it is the smell and the stuff getting on me all the time. I've told him he needs to be cleaned out more, and he does try, but nothing seems to remove everything.
Yep, that's a good reason to not do that anymore. And yeah, it's a kind of an awkward one. Your wife's like, well, you kind of smell like shit all the time, so no, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. He needs to maybe change his diet up a little bit if it's going to continue. Maybe, I don't know, consult some sort of medical professional.
Spoken like a man with experience there.
Hey, someone knows stuff about some things. All right, the internet is a beacon of information. That's all I'll say. But hey,
well, why should you not masturbate at work?
Well, it depends what industry you work in, because maybe that's your job. So, but moving swiftly on and not saying any more about that. I don't know. Maybe people will get jealous.
It's not my job, but I make it my job.
Yeah. Every day when I come into work, just have a quick wank to get my day started.
Isn't it everyone's job at the end of the day?
You know, it's exactly. So there is.
If
no
you're
real...
fast enough, everyone's toilet break is long enough to have a wank.
I mean, you know, seems reasonable. So it's your time. It's when you're on your bathroom break, so you can do whatever you want.
I think even you should strategize about it and tell your work that, look, I have a medical problem that requires me to, how should I say this, shit for long periods of time. So every day at about 12, I'm going to need a good 20-minute shit.
And 40
Just
minutes
so
to
you know.
recover from it. And also, I'm not going to work here anymore. Fuck you guys.
And I will need to bring headphones into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's important.
can we get some lotion in there? Because, you know, I need some help getting it out.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable. I like it.
Well, this article says, it was a slow day at work and I was feeling a little bored and restless. I decided to take a quick break and indulge in a little self-pleasure in the privacy of my office. However, I must have gotten too caught up in the moment because I didn't hear my boss enter the room. Before I knew it, my boss caught me in the act. I was completely mortified and didn't know what to do. My boss was equally embarrassed and quickly exited the room. The rest of the day was incredibly awkward, and I felt like I couldn't face my boss or colleagues. I was afraid that I might lose my job or that my reputation at work might be ruined. In the end, I decided to talk to my boss and apologize for my behavior. I explained that it was a moment of weakness and that I was deeply embarrassed for the situation. My boss was surprisingly understanding and forgiving, but the incident definitely had an impact on our professional relationship.
As it would.
I learned a valuable lesson that day about boundaries and professionalism in the workplace. It's never okay to engage in inappropriate behavior at work, and it's important to always maintain a level of respect and professionalism towards colleagues and superiors. Now, that would be epic if on a job interview they said, so tell us about a time where you learned a lesson or faced a tough situation at work.
Yeah.
Well, one time I was jacking off and my boss walked in and I learned, you know, don't do that.
He walked in, he saw what was happening. He lingered a little bit longer than he should have. He was enjoying the show. It took me ages to finish after that. And then I went back to work. So, yeah, you know.
Now, that's a workplace I can get behind.
I mean, you know, maybe the workplace should be more considerate and put locks on office doors so that if you want to crank one out, you can just, you know, no one's going to walk in on you. Yeah. Little sign outside. Says, come back in 15 minutes. Taking care of some business.
Go on wanking. Come back in 15 minutes.
You know, I guarantee you productivity would be increased if everyone had a 15-minute wank break every day. You don't have to take it. It's optional. You can do what you want in your 15-minute wank break, but you can also have a little you time. And
I have a whole idea of, like, setting up a company with, like, dodgy policies. Because there are companies that clearly, they exploit it and get, like, their get into media because of that. So yeah, you have a company that. Firstly, you only have freelancers, so you actually never actually employ anyone directly, so there's only you in the workplace. But then you have a company policy that, yeah, there's like a 15-minute wank break.
I'd like to see them come at you for that one. Like, that's a positive. Do whatever you want, but it is officially a wank break.
Well, if you don't actually employ anyone, what rules are you breaking?
True.
We have unlimited time off. And unlimited sick pay, unlimited travel. Now, I do only employ myself, so I do decide when I go on holidays anyway, but, you know.
You could do bring your mistress to work day.
Bring your other family to work day. We're the only workplace that we invite your kids, but we make sure to have separate play areas so that your mistress's kids can go on one side and your kids can go on the other.
Yeah. Some businesses have like employee picnics, employee swinger parties. And, you know,
we're pet friendly, not of dogs, but of human pets. So if you happen to have a partner who's into pony play or a furry, bring your furry to work day.
Absolutely.
We have the monthly office pegging party.
Some people turn up twice a week for that one. Yeah, you know, it's an interesting concept. I think. I mean, you're not breaking any laws offering things to people. I don't think. But anyway, there you go. And they say they're not employees, so it's all fine. So,
well, all employees can do it. The fact that you don't actually have employees, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, can the government shut you down for improper business practices if you don't actually have employees that can file a complaint?
It's a great question. We need to maybe push the boundaries and figure it out.
I did actually go down a crazy rabbit hole that no one has registered Lemon Party as a business in Australia, and so so I wanted to register my business and then have it on LinkedIn as be like director of parties at Lemon Party, and then be like, it's real. Look up Google what we do.
Oh my god!
And just hope to catch some people that Google Lemon Party at work.
Yep. Well, not one day can go by without someone mentioning Lemon Party. Not one single day. Anyway.
I mean, it is my homepage, so.
Yeah.
Desktop background.
There you go.
I mean, yeah, if I had I almost want to invest in the lemon company just so we can,
literally just buy one lemon tree and put it in your backyard and be like, there, that is the company.
When life gives you lemons, throw a party.
Yeah, could work.
Now, you keep insisting that we randomly go to Spain with the podcast. Do you want to explain why?
Well, no. But, it's
understandable.
Due to the excellent weather and such, the great beaches of Spain and stuff. Yeah.
That's the beach. The beach is why. Definitely not because they just decriminalize bestiality.
It's not why. It's the beach, I told you. Yeah. Did they? That's weird. I hadn't heard about that.
What I love about it is this like the whole argument over whether they did or didn't. But so they changed the laws on bestiality in Spain, as I'm sure you're aware. I get it in my legal emails. and my bestiality emails, and you know. But yeah, so essentially they changed the laws, and then the argument that they didn't decriminalize bestiality is still kind of flawed in the fact that that wasn't the purpose, but because they haven't thought through their new law and it's open-ended, it can actually decriminalize bestiality. So they say that so the people behind the law say it's an absurd mischaracterization of the law that in fact extends protections to more animals and more aggressively. And in some cases that is accurate, but the new law, which does expand what bestiality is and etc., it didn't introduce a requirement that the abuse to an animal has to cause an injury that requires veterinary treatment. So, as long as you make sweet love to an animal that doesn't require veterinary treatment, essentially you can now get around. You only get like a fine as opposed to going to jail.
Okay.
So, the argument is that doesn't decriminalize bestiality, even though it does make it easier to make love to an animal if someone were...
I mean, the consequences are taken away. The consequences, but, you know. But there you go. It's an interesting predicament they have themselves in there. Because, yeah, you gotta be careful when you're changing laws, because you gotta word them exact. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, even in the defense of it, it says perhaps the focus should be on whether the Spanish government is about to pass another ill-thought-out, ambiguous law, which will, to some extent, have direct opposite effect of what it was intended to do. So basically, they're saying they didn't intend to decriminalize, to some extent, bestiality, but it's an unintended consequence of poorly worded.
I like that they're like, we didn't intend to do that, but it's done now. So, you know what?
No, they're not like that. They're like, you guys are lying about what we did. We didn't intend to do that.
Yeah, that wasn't our intention, but that's what it does. Oh, well, okay then. Just nobody do it anyway, all right?
Just make sure you're making sweet love to the animals and we're all good.
Yeah, just be gentle and tender. That's how you need to. Light some candles, play some music. It's all good. It's all good.
It does bring up the argument of, like, will there be bestiality people in Spain who are, like, arguing... No, that cut on the animal was not from our lovemaking session. That was when it fell afterwards.
Your Honor, that cut was already there. I had nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Your Honor, I am a shit owner, and I did, in fact, allow my monkey to fall over. But that was prior to our lovemaking, and not part of it, I assure you. The monkey was the one wearing the strap-on, not me.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Why not?
Well, it does actually bring up the thing of, like, you know, you need to ensure that the monkey is the one going at it, not the other way around, because...
I mean, you know, there's concerns either way. But, yeah, just be careful if you're out there messing around with anything that is considered bestiality. You know, just don't hurt anybody. That's the feeling.
I feel like we should start up like a travel company.
We're going to get so many people who are currently going to Thailand and places like that. Nope, now they're coming to Spain. For the
be like, no, that's a common misconception. The Thai bestiality laws are pretty strong.
Yeah,
Spain, on the other hand, as long as you make sweet love
Well,
to your new lover. Spain is all down for sweet monkey love. None of that rough stuff. What about the beastiality people who also like BDSM? Like, why should they be treated differently? We should make a video as Spanish bestiality BDSM lovers who are upset that we're getting singled out in these new laws.
I don't know if I want to be in that video, to be honest with you. I think...
It's too late.
No.
Or just hire people online to be like, yeah, we're making a new promo video. And then if they complain, be like, well, this is all within the law. This is legal activism. We are...
Yeah, well, you know, I still am going to claim that I don't want to be part of this video. It's not my... yeah, I think I should be careful.
Too close to home for you.
I'm too emotional, that's what it is, yeah, for sure.
Too worried about hurting that monkey.
You know, that happened once, but it still tears me apart. But anyway...
Well, how up to speed are you on the situation in Hong Kong right now?
Exactly 0%. So, you know, pretty well. I mean,
Well,
I know where
that's
Hong Kong
pretty sad.
is. That's about it. Yeah.
Well, there's serious stuff going on over there. A video of an unknown nude woman in a Hong Kong library has got the police investigating. So a woman went into a library in Hong Kong and just filmed herself nude.
Yeah, that was Susan. We double dared her, so she had to. So, yeah, that's interesting. That's the kind of thing I think is often missing from libraries is people just stripping naked. That's great.
I've been saying it for years. Like, I'd go to libraries more if there were a strip show in the library.
I think it would really drive traffic to the library. It would increase memberships and return visits. People would bring their books back because we'd be like, I wonder, is Crystal on stage today or Cherie? Who knows? So yeah, I think it's a good idea. If any library practitioners are out there, get some strippers in, get some naked ladies. You will get a lot of return customers.
This is our new library policy.
You can even make it an educational thing. You have to read one book before you can enter the strip area of the library. So people burning through books left, right, and centre. Be great. We have a smarter populace then, and they'd know how to write laws properly, or put in
Be more clear about it.
sneaky loopholes in their laws. Yeah, for sure. So there you go.
Yeah, it's people express concern as to why security did not notice the outrageous behavior.
Maybe they did, and they were like, "This is cool. A nice day at work." The perks of working in a library as security is a naked ladies just come in. There you go.
Yep, it's regular Saturday for us.
Just get home from work. Hey, honey, how was your day? Well, let me tell you. It's just a normal.
There's only one of them today.
It was a normal day, and then she just took all her clothes off. Started filming herself. It was great. Helped her out with the camera movements. Good times for all.
Yeah, it's I think we need more of this in the world.
I agree. I think it's an essential service.
Yeah. Well, how many times is too many to propose?
Let me see. How many times? I don't know. I think after your second rejection, you should probably think, this might not be worth asking this question to the same person anymore. Let them come and ask me instead.
I think second time in life, that's enough. Just give up.
I mean, possibly. I mean, you know, if you're asking everyone you meet to marry you, that's an issue. You know, second date's not the time to be asking someone to marry you, but, you know, maybe you feel like you've met the one and you're, you know, several years into a relationship and you've asked her to marry you several times. And she's like, not a fucking chance, bro. After the 14th or 15th time, you should probably be like, all right, I'll just wait for her to ask me.
Well, I mean, 14 or 15 is not a lot.
Oh, good.
Because this guy... this guy's been proposing to his girlfriend for the last 6 months.
Okay.
And he's only done it 180 times so far.
All right. Is this one of those dudes who does it like when she's not looking, holding up a card that says, will you marry me or something? And she's no idea.
He, every single day I'd give her a sweet handwritten note to wake her up to, all marked with a date and varying date notations, all with different text. Each note would have a letter indicated by said notation. I would clue this solving method on the last dated note she'd receive, and when combined/solved correctly, these notes would spell out the text translated, my dear girlfriend, today on the 10th of March 2023, on our trip through wherever, I want to ask you to marry me after 10 years. I love you and want you to be by my side for the rest of my life.
Okay, I'm going to give you a tip just straight off the bat here. If you're going to propose to your girlfriend, don't say, my dear girlfriend. Give her actual name, because otherwise she'll think you have several of them, or that you just don't know her name. Yeah, that's kind of super nerdy and ridiculous, and I hope she told him to fuck off. Because there you go. But I presume he had it planned out and was pretty sure she'd say yes. So,
well, she didn't. And this guy's written like 500-word essay. Not even 500. I mean like 5,000-word essay of what he's been going on about. I mean, they're 25 and 24. He fell in love at first sight at 12. He's been dating her ever since.
Pervert.
He even called his proposing thing Operation Wingspan.
Okay. Like the whole nerd theory is coming to light here. Yeah, Operation Wingspan. All right, whenever floats your boat. But yeah, no, I feel like maybe he could have just been more straight up front and been like, hey, let's do something actually cool. But there you go.
Let's go to Spain and
you know, it's one way of doing it for sure.
Just don't get stuck in the vet.
While we're at the vets, I had a question I wanted to ask you. Yeah,
you're going to be busy for the next year in jail, but
it's only 1 year. It's fine. Yeah, it sounds to me like they, you know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like an exciting thing to do. Like, I'm going to make you solve a puzzle to ask this question for you. Like, I don't know if that'd go down well with my...
should have written like a poem of like, violets are blue. In Spain, monkey fucks you. Will you marry me?
How could anyone refuse? Yes, I feel like maybe he has a point. Maybe that's the way to go. But I think 180 different proposals or steps to the proposal, that's too complicated, man.
I think the first like 76, if you get no.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the first 76 you should know. Anything after that, 77 on is a bit excessive.
I feel like after 77 she doesn't take you seriously anymore. She just thinks you're just saying it now to be fashionable. but at 75, yeah, she thinks you're still serious. So yeah, that's about the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, why should you not go to the gym with your girlfriend?
I mean, I don't know. Because it's a women's only gym and you're not allowed in. They won't let you sign up for curves because you ain't got no curves. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Something about other dudes or other ladies or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm 18 and I've been dating my 18-year-old girlfriend for 3 weeks now.
Sweet.
During this time, we had 2 gym dates where we go to the gym and work out together. They are nice because it reduces the awkwardness by giving us stuff to do together.
Those are not dates.
I feel like in the first 3 weeks, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
The first date was fine, but this happened during the second date at her place after the gym. The gym often gets busy, and there is no room on the large green mat area for us to stretch after our workout, which she enjoys to do, so we end up going to her place after the gym and stretch there, which you should really be taking as an invite
to
escalate things. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. She likes to stretch.
We start off with simple stretches.
Sweet. Yeah,
progress from there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like when you're in Spain with your downward dog.
Listen, let's just focus on the story in hand. We can't get sidetracked thinking about what's going on in Spain. It's a whole other thing.
We're gonna do doggy there.
So we're stretching. We're talking about people stretching. They're doing some
simple stretches.
Yeah.
She will push me to do the ones that I don't do very well. When she does this for stretches involving my legs, it did increase the blood flow to not just my legs, but that whole area below midsection, and I got a slight boner. It didn't really cross my mind as I kept moving around. Eventually, she pushed me into a sort of straddle position on the floor, and she said to bend forward a bit and hold it. My legs were spread apart, and this seemed to make my boner larger, so I bent forward even more to try and hide it. Last time she was wearing track pants, but we'd changed this time, and she was wearing tight leggings, which only made it harder to stop having this erection. Well, it says this reaction, but I just read it as this erection.
I mean, hey, both work. Yeah.
When in Spain, as they say.
You know.
Now, she's quite flexible, and this stretch is easy for her as she bends all the way down, all the way forward to the floor. I was sitting there as she slowly moves her legs out, turning this into a full split, and she stands up and does a right and left split before standing up again. Getting some books in a pile and doing a split with her front leg on them and bending her back up and arching her back towards it. She says, "How are you doing there?" I say, "Fine," and do a smile. She says, "Awesome," rests her back leg and flexes her butt cheek as some sort of teasing affirmation. By this point, I have a full-on raging hard-on, and I'm not sure if she can see, so I don't move, so it's not obvious. She says, "Can you do this?" "Betcha I can." She then does this next pose that I'm not really sure what it is, but from what I could see with her facing me, it involves her standing up and lifting one leg upwards and forwards until her foot was above her head. I didn't really understand how she did that or what she was doing, but she winks at me, making my D pulse. She said it's even easier on the floor. She starts lying on her belly and doesn't really use her arm this time to move her leg before bringing the other one forward, and she spreads them. Now, I'm not sure if this was because I was tired from the gym or staying seated on the floor like this, but my D pulsed against my pants a few times and started coming after she did this. I wasn't even sure I actually came at first, but I felt my boner going away and the moistness there, and I knew I had to go to the bathroom and change, but she says she wants to do a handstand and back bend after this. So I get up, and she saw my half hard-on and cum spot and was kind of shocked as well, but eventually she said, I guess you really like me, since she saw I was embarrassed. After I changed, I told her I had to go do an assignment and went back to my place. Let me know your suggestions on how to handle this and if anything similar has happened to you in a relationship.
Well, first of all, after 3 weeks, it's a bit strong to be calling it a relationship, but it's all good. It's all good.
Marriage is more appropriate.
Yeah, it's a long-term slave kind of situation going on here. She clearly was, being like, hey, look what I can do. I'm very flexible. There's a whole reason to show you that she's flexible. We're not even going to go into it. But yeah, you probably should have mentioned, hey, I can't do any stretches right now. Got a boner. Got to wait for that to go down. Maybe you could help me out with that. And that's when you make them, the situation even more awkward. So yeah, just maybe don't just sit there playing with your D. That'll be better.
Or do play with it.
I mean, maybe she's into that, she might be like impressed. Yeah. You should have known what was going on, pal. You should have known what was going on.
Well, that's why you don't go to the gym. Or it is why you go to the gym. To lead into it.
Reasons why you go to the gym, I would say just for the free parking. That's all. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. I know where I am.
This isn't Spain.
It's not yet. But on location from Spain pretty soon. The next episode of
Wait until you see the gyms in Spain.
Yeah. Anyway. I feel
when was the last time you went down on your car?
My car and I do not have that type of relationship anymore, so it's quite a long time ago. Yeah.
Well, in China, a Chinese electric vehicle company has been forced to remove its car's facial recognition feature. The video that went viral, a car owner demonstrated how the vehicle's facial recognition system required him to kneel down and position his face in front of the car's front bumper to activate it. So you have to kneel in front of the car.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For it to...
Sounds like the car is asserting its dominance over you. Get on your knees if you want some service from me. You want my motor to get running? Get on your knees. Yeah, I feel like she the car here knows what it's doing. So good stuff from the car. I like it.
I think it would make the next Fast and Furious movie more entertaining if they all had to kneel and bend down in front of the car to start it.
It's a whole new concept. It's a whole new reality that those movies would become. Yeah, I think I might be interested in them in that case.
Imagine the car was just made by dwarfs and didn't realize that.
So look, this story is perfectly made for a porn parody. Everything about it is just leaning into different niches and kinks. I think there's a porn company out there who can make this a reality.
Well, I mean, the one problem with it is it's in China, not in Spain, but we can fix that.
A little bit of rewriting, it's fine. Just work on the concept a little bit. Good times.
Yeah, well, we previously spoke about Married at First Sight.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite show.
Second favorite. And
one of the contestants is pretty mad with the current season. Okay. Do you want to guess why?
Because there's a better selection of hotties who are getting married. I don't know.
No, that's just ridiculous.
That's, just trying to think inside the box here.
Well, yeah. So an exclusive. contestant from last season, he even says he found himself involved in some of the biggest dramas in last year's season of Married at First Sight. Now, Jack has shared his thoughts on season 10 of the reality show.
Okay.
Saying that he's struggling to like the 2023 season because it's too much drama.
It's kind of the whole point of the show, my friend. It's drama is the whole, yeah, that's, I don't know how you could complain about that, but there you go.
He says there's some of the I feel like a lot of the relationships on there are a little chaotic.
Yes, that's, again, this is a reality TV show. It's not a fucking, I don't know, cozy afternoon time reading a book. It's, yeah.
Well, he continued, it's quite literally chaos for the sake of drama and TV, or at least that's what it seems like to me, and that's why I'm struggling to connect with them.
I don't know.
So, yeah, he's very upset that a reality TV show that he was on, and he was involved in a lot of drama.
Oh, my God.
How dare you go on Married at First Sight and be dramatic?
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, I think he maybe misunderstands the concept of reality TV. It's not there to make people look good and also, fulfill their dreams. It's there to make people laugh at them and think that their own lives are better because they're not going through that drama. So yeah, that's why all these shows are just kind of super filled with drama. And it's great. That's why we watch them. I love it. I love it. It's great. Anyway.
Nah, I mean, we watch it because everyone gets married at first sight, so...
Only the first few times. Once you're up to 6 or 7, you start putting a little bit more preparation into it. There you go.
Yeah. Well, how much is too much for a pint of Guinness?
Well, it depends where you go, but if you're, I don't know. I have this psychological block of paying more than €5 for a pint of Guinness, but there you go. I think they're more than that everywhere now.
And what is that in dollars? €5?
Maybe $6. Maybe $6.
Okay, so you wouldn't pay $6.
I'd have a big problem with paying that much. I think you're asking too much at that point.
Well, this foreign guy, he just arrived in Singapore and wanted to experience some of the country's nightlife.
Okay.
He went to a popular nightlife area. He walked into a random bar somewhere near the area and immediately hit it with a wave of energy. The place was filled with people, the music was loud, atmosphere was buzzing.
Sweet.
There were also female hostesses wearing very scantily accompanying the patrons. This person's writing is annoying. But anyway, so there were scantily clad women who were there, mostly with Westerners. And because there were many Westerners like me, I assumed it was a safe place. I ordered a beer for starters and was surprised to find out it was more expensive than I expected. About $30 for a pint of Guinness.
Did that come with a free blowjob at the same time, or what was... That's ridiculous. What kind of establishment was this? Was this a strip club? Because they charge you more money for beer. I believe I read on the internet one time. But yeah, that's excessive. Maybe he was wearing his "I am a tourist and an idiot" T-shirt. I don't know. That's just... Well,
the night went on as usual, and then the hostess came over to accompany me, and after a while they asked me if I could buy a few shots of ladies' drinks for them, and I agreed, thinking it was their tips. When the bill came, I got a shock that I had paid over $100 for a tray of 10 shots for their drinks, which tasted nothing like alcohol. I didn't want to spend so much because I realized that I might have been conned, and I rushed to finish my drink and made my way out to the door. As I was leaving, the bartender rushed over with another bill for me, and I was told that I had to pay for the lady's time for accompanying me. It was about $150 per lady, and I had 2.
Yep, got screwed, and not the way he intended. It's a danger of going into a bar like that by yourself, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in every way there he got charged over the odds for what he should have been getting. Pint of Guinness should be not more than $5 or $6, I think. I know alcohol is more expensive in some places. I know, like, for example, there'll be people saying, 10 or 12 is normal, but I feel bad about it.
Not 30.
Not 30 is excessive. I remember, so when I was a kid, my first ever job was in a bar, like basically delivering, I was basically a waiter in a pub, just bringing drinks to people and stuff. And there was an old dude, he used to sit in the same corner every night. He'd come in and get his few pints of Guinness or whatever. And the price went from $1.95 to £2 at the time. And so a 5 pence difference. And this dude freaked the fuck out. Like, he would have his little stack of coins for each pint he was drinking. He was like, that's $1.95, that's $1.95. And he's had 4 or 5 little stacks. And then he didn't have enough money for the 4 or 5 because they'd gone up in price overnight. And he went fucking ballistic. He was so pissed off that the price had gone up by 5p. So if he was to walk into a bar and the pints now were $30, he would freak the fuck out. Probably tear the whole place apart. Yeah, it was a fun experience for a 16-year-old trying to tell him, no man, that's more expensive now. It's 5p more expensive. Freaked out. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, he it would be fun to find that person now because imagine what they'd be going through.
That was
current prices.
25 years ago. I think he was about 70, late 70s at the time, so I don't think he's still buying pints. But if he is, we should bring him to Singapore.
If you're out there, message us.
Yeah, hit us up.
We have a trip to Singapore and also to Spain.
Yeah, double whammy.
Wait till he finds out for the going rates at the zoo in Spain.
Time to knock a few things off your bucket list. There we go. Yeah.
Well, finally, what is the craziest thing? Wait, let me phrase this. What is the craziest thing you've done in anger?
Craziest thing I've done in anger. I mean, I don't know if it was in anger, but maybe it was. Found out some information, booked a flight, flew halfway around the world, announced myself. I was like, hey, I'm here. Let's hang out. But it wasn't really out of anger. I think it was kind of out of anger, but not like aggressive anger. I don't know. That's probably the thing. Flew halfway around the world to see someone. Just be like, hey, I'm here. So anyway, there you go.
Fun anger.
I mean, it started from a point of anger, I think, at the time. But by the time I got there, I wasn't angry anymore because it was quite a way to travel. But there you go. Yeah. Finished literally.
Oh, because you were so angry that they set the new Spanish laws.
Well, no. What happened was I was on my lunch break. A job that I was at that I didn't particularly love, like we mentioned. No, there's no love for these jobs. And on social media of some kind, I discovered information about an ex-person of mine, who at the time I didn't realize was my ex-person. I thought they were my current person who was just in a faraway country doing work and stuff. And then, so I found something out and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I finished work that night and I went to the airport and I got on a plane the next morning and I flew to the part of the world they were in, and I was like, hey, I'm here, pretending I didn't know the information. But I was quite angry when I booked the ticket and went to the airport, but by the time I got there I'd calmed down and I wasn't so angry anymore. It's a whole thing. We could make a movie about it, to be quite honest, but there you go.
That does sound movie worthy.
I think my character would come off as a bit of a dumbass, but there you go. It's fine. Like, it could have been an email. I flew over there instead, and and she didn't want to see me while I was there. So there you go. It's good times.
Jeez.
The climax of the story is nothing happened. So,
The climax of the story is holiday in Spain.
went back to Spain. Yeah. So yeah, good times. Good times. Not
I
good
cut
times.
my trip to Spain short, all for you.
Work calling up. Where are you? Yeah, about that. About 6,000 miles away. Just, I got into a
Did they?
rage yesterday. Went to the airport. So I won't be in work today.
Did they actually call you?
Yeah. I didn't tell anyone, and they were like, "Dave, you were supposed to be in work like an hour ago." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not coming into work today." And they were like, "Oh, what's up?" And I'm like, I'm kind of in another country right now. When are you going to be back?" They're like, I don't know, like in a few days. So anyway, that was a good time. I didn't last in that job very long. But
Wonder why?
I was taking care of business of another kind. Anyway. Things you do when you're young and 36. Anyway, that's
Well, I think you've done this before, but just not in a fit of rage.
okay.
It does say it's a first ever incident, but again,
Okay.
I think it's the fit of rage part. A bloke that followed a full banana wrapped in a condom is said to have done so in a fit of rage.
Sorry, say that again, because I heard something, but I don't think it's what you said.
The fascinating incident is likely the first ever time a medical incident was declared over a man swallowing an entire banana that had been wrapped in a condom.
And he did this in a fit of rage. This was anger.
Yeah. Stuffed full of fruit, the condom and mushy interior was found to have been lodged in the man's small intestine, which was causing severe vomiting and stomach pains.
Yeah.
The bloke underwent a surgery to have his condom-stuffed banana removed from inside of him after he gulped down the banana during an extraordinary anger spree. The unnamed 34-year-old complained of stomach pains and began vomiting after being rushed to hospital.
Just want to know what went through. I'm so angry. Someone get me a banana. What are you going to do with the banana? I'm going to fucking eat it. First, I'm going to put it in a condom. There you go. Weird. Weird.
They found that the fruit, which had started to discolor and to turn to mush, had lodged itself in the small intestine last year. He was rushed into surgery where the banana-clad condom was removed, and it was reported that he had not been able to use the toilet for 24 hours. Photos have since shown it. Following the surgery, the unnamed 34-year-old had a few days rest in the hospital before being discharged. His encounter with it doesn't explain why. You would think that if you're going to say it happened in a fit of rage.
Yeah, you need to know what caused the rage, what was going on, that these two things became how you expressed your rage.
I'm so... Mom, if you do not buy me the new game, the new Pokemon, I'm going to swallow a condom with a banana in it.
Yeah. At 34, that's an appropriate response.
Well, yeah, he's the one who said it was a fit of rage. So maybe
still doesn't explain a whole lot.
explanation.
You know, I just like what happened there. Did you I mean, how does that become? Was it lunchtime and you were both hungry and horny, so you had a condom with you and a banana? You thought you were going to get some from the lunch lady, and she was like, no. And then you were angry about that, so you ate a banana with. I don't know. This dude needs re-education on how to eat a banana. Clearly.
I mean, we've all been there. You're hungry.
Have we? Yeah.
Most of us.
We've been to places, but yeah. I don't know. I would have been like, you know what? It was a bet, and I went with it. So there you go. Please surgically remove this banana from me, from my lower intestine. That's great. Thanks. Yeah, pretty shady. Terrible. Horrendous. I'm going to have nightmares about this. I know I am. So there you go. Like a lot of stories on this podcast.
So he went there to the hospital and he said that he couldn't go to the bathroom, and then so they did an x-ray. So then he had to own up to the fact that, yeah, what you're looking at is in fact a
I feel like you wouldn't really want to have to explain it to them. Like, I don't know how that got there. Oh my God.
So the patient so there's a medical journal titled "Banana in a Condom: An Unusual Cause of Small Bowel Obstruction." The study went on to reveal that the patient had a history of depression that contributed to his ill-advised decision.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, somehow I don't think this will fix your depression.
Clearly it didn't work. Like, oh, I'm at the hospital. Got to get a surgery now. Damn it.
So he was at the hospital for more than 24 hours before admitting what had happened. So they were there trying to figure out, why aren't you able to go to the bathroom? And then they eventually do an x-ray, and then it's like, okay, yeah, that is the banana in a condom that I had swallowed.
Yep, that'll do it. So clearly he knew he shouldn't have done that, whatever he did. But there, you know, it's fine. It's fine. He's just one of those people who now has a fascinating "I went to the hospital because" story involving a condom and a banana. Who doesn't have one of those stories? His is just slightly different to everyone else's. There you go.
Yeah, he 2 weeks later though, he was back. Fine.
He was back again? Had the same thing?
No. He had no issues.
Okay.
After 6 months, they also followed up, and he was completely fine. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, he learned his lesson.
So.
There you go.
Well, no, I think it's a lesson for all of us that if you're going to swallow a condom with banana, you're going to be fine in 6 months. So take that risk.
It's not the lesson I thought you were going to learn from that, but there you go. Yeah, fine. I mean, you know, if that's your thing, just know in 6 months' time you'll be all right. But yeah, try not to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something fun to do on the weekend and have 6 months spare.
If you can't get to Spain for 6 months, you can have a go at this for yourself. Yeah, I'd love to know what he was angry about, though. That's the thing. I hope it was because of
wow,
you know, some video game or something.
You cheated on me, so I'm going to swallow this.
But safety first.
Unlike you, I'm going to use protection.
Oh, those sex dolls are always cheating on people. It's terrible. There you go. Yeah.
I reckon the real reason has to be that it was some kind of kinky sex game that went wrong.
It had to be. Or some sort of bet, like, you know, I don't know. I don't even want to know.
Even bet, I don't.
Yeah. Anyway.
To me, yeah, it just seems like it's a accidental gone too far with the mistress.
She dropped me off at the hospital, but I just... she wouldn't come in. She didn't want to be involved. There you go.
Yeah. She made me eat the condom filled with the banana and then wouldn't fix me.
24 hours later, when I was having serious trouble, she was out. I got angry and I went to the hospital.
I almost want to say that... I'm going to even preface this with hypothetically. Let's say that you went on an extreme 6-month Findon game.
Extreme 6 months. Yeah, you know.
I'm not going to fill in the blanks, but you can fill in the blanks. I feel like
they fill in themselves. It's fine.
They fill him in like his small intestine with that banana.
Fill him right in. Yeah.
Because, yeah, the problem with swallowing a regular banana without the condom is that it's going to decompose. And you're just going to have like a awkward, I don't know how long, maybe a couple weeks. And then you'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no doctor, but I think that, yeah.
I don't know. It sounds pretty like medical advice to me. So,
I think, what if he works for a condom company and wanted to prove how good their condoms are?
This is the dedication we're talking about. Where you got to love your job. You got to take it to the extreme for your job. It's not about money. It's about the experience and loving and having passion for what you do.
That's why we're going to pay you $50 to swallow a condom with a banana in it. I mean, to prove to our clients.
There's people who do weird shit for less than $50. So I'm pretty sure this guy, it sounds like the most reasonable explanation for what he did. So that's what I think happened. Okay, it was me.
Yeah, I mean, as always, we give you some wanking material.
It's been a very work-heavy, work-related episode today. It's all about jobs and workplace environments and stuff like that. So I think that would make the most sense if this story was also a work-related one. Yeah. So good to see the condom companies doing some research for a change, other than just what flavors they should make. There you go. So it's just an interesting story. But anyway,
I mean, he absolutely should be approaching the companies for sponsorship.
What's the world record for the fastest time or the longest time a banana has stayed in a condom body? I was trying to break the world record, okay?
That's why he didn't tell the hospital straight away. He was trying to make sure he made it.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Doctor, can you just sign this form to say that it was 23.5 hours that the banana was in there?" Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, never going to look at a banana or a condom ever again in the same way that I had before this, which was already messed up. So there you go. Yeah.
Unless you're in Spain.
I mean, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, well, that was a fun episode where I think, again, I have been disturbed for life. So thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So until next week, I guess we